there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinya. I'm so glad that you're here with us for these conversations. And of course, as usual, I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Definitely, I want us to look at some of the things taking place in this country, of course, with comprehensive analysis of everything political that is taking place within. And of course, we are still monitoring the political environment and weather in this country. And we are more than glad to bring you up to date. Prof, how are you? Do you think that perhaps President William Ruto has succeeded in the attrition against Raila Odinga?
I don't want to see anybody saying they have succeeded in knocking somebody down. I just want them to knock down the problems of this country.
Are you convinced that these guys are even focused on even the problems?
No, they are not.
And the problems just some sort of a breeding ground for them?
I want to hear that Kenyans are talking. Kenyans are sitting on a table and talking. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear Rigathi Gachagua saying the road is there, go and demonstrate. I don't want to hear those things.
Well, of course, our conversation today is basically on this man, Rigathi Gachagua, leave alone. Of course, he's tied to a number of things here. But then, definitely, when he came before he became the deputy president, he was packaged as somebody who was sort of uncouth, uncivilized, uncultured. If at all I was to use his words, because that was what he was saying, that the media portrayed him so. Somebody was unfit to hold public office, but here he is. Do you think that so far the deputy president has proved those people wrong? Whoever thought that he's unfit to hold public office?
If Rigathi Gachagua was unfit to hold office, it couldn't have been because of what people were saying he was uncouth, he was uncivilized. No. They should have said his past record in terms of integrity. That would have sold.
Of course, that was also part of that.
But to say a man is uncouth, is uncivilized, just because he wants to be... You know, somebody must be allowed to be themselves. And I admire the authenticity of Gachagua. If there's anything I admire about Rigathi Gachagua, it's his authenticity. He wants to be himself. Why should people be forced to be other people? Why should I be forced to behave like other people? To behave in a manner to make you happy? If this is what I enjoy eating, why can't I enjoy eating it in the manner I want to eat it?
Do you then think that perhaps this is responsible for his recent actually scathing attacks on the media, because the media has always been on the receiving end, if at all anything pertaining to the deputy president is brought on board, definitely. Do you think that perhaps how the media portrayed him back then could be responsible for how he's related with them up to now?
Two wrongs do not make a right. So if the media were wrong about the way they described Gachagua, he shouldn't hit back. In fact, my advice to Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto is, you must come out the bigger person. The media, if the media is engaged in what you think childish games of vindictiveness or bias, reporting, and you must rise above them. That's the only way you can come out big, by rising above the media. If you feel they are compromised, if you feel they are not worth the name, you ignore them. That's how you treat people who are useless. You just ignore them. So if the media, according to them, is highly compromised and inefficient and uncouth, if you want to use, then why don't you just ignore them? Nobody has ever fought the media successfully. It has never worked anywhere in the world. And it's not about to start in Kenya. The best way to deal with the media, even if there are other scandal against you, is to keep quiet. That's the only way that works. Any other way has never worked. Try to fight the media. They will hit you. The media is like police.
Okay.
If the police want to fight you with fault on the road, traffic, they will find it. If they come to your house, they'll find something to pin on you. So the media have a nose, a nose for things. They smell things. They know where people hide their when you sweep your house, where you hide the dirt. They know all those things. So why do you want to go into war with them? They will put things out there in the public you regret. Yeah, don't. My advice to Rigathi Gachagua, leave media alone.
But of course, it's been...
Even if you want to deny them advertising, must you announce it?
No.
So you just quietly tell the people in charge, knock out nation kidogo hapa, ingine knock out. And
So you've talked of you actually admiring the authenticity of our deputy president.
Yes.
And definitely the other time I saw him invited to the graduation ceremony at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture, definitely JKUAT, Agriculture and Technology therein. And then after that speech, whatever he said there, people were back and they were asking, surely, was this the right man to actually bring on board, invite to attend such kind of important forums where you deal with intellectuals and people who actually hold high hopes for this country? And then sadly enough, you definitely tell them, all the graduates there, that we do not have work for you. I do not want to lie to you that there is work outside there. But anyway, we are having plans of constructing houses. You can go. I mean, people are asking, is this our deputy president actually talking? Instead of giving hope to these graduates, definitely he's actually delaying all their hopes and killing them at that.
if his conduct was unbecoming during such an occasion, you blame the people who invited him. They invited him knowing who he is. That's what I'm saying. He's authentic. He doesn't pretend. He's telling why lie to you, there are jobs when they are not. That's Gachagua for you. And there's nothing wrong with being who he is. But the people who invited him knew he would speak like that. Why did they invite him?
Is any function in this country a chance for our leaders to politic and say all manner of things that they want?
That's where we are. There was a country now. What is remaining of it is these things will happen.
So when will we differentiate between a church service, an academic forum, and a political rally for that?
But these are the people you elected into office.
So we have to honor for.
Yes. These are your people. You knew them very well before you elected them.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Ndi said, you are talking so much about Kuria. What is it that Kuria has said that is not like Kuria? What is this new Kuria you are trying to talk about? But this is the only Kuria. You knew him. So what are you expecting?
So are you saying that we should have expected the same from the deputy president?
Yeah. Yeah. You see, that's what he is. And I don't want to blame him. Because you see, one would argue, when you assume office, you must know there's a shift. You are no longer the MP for Madeira. You are no longer an individual. As an MP, you are more or less an individual. The moment you become deputy president, you occupy such a high public space that you no longer belong to yourself. Secondly, when you are the deputy president or president of a country, every word you say is critical. It's very important. Because a stream of words from your mouth can set the country ablaze. Yeah.
Is it perhaps
Because it's coming not from Rigathi Gachagua, a private citizen, not even Rigathi Gachagua, MP for Madeira. It's coming from the Deputy President of the Republic.
so when Kenyans look at him, they'll see that position? Not
So for that reason,
Uh-huh.
and this is the new Kenya we must get into when we get back our country, where leaders get advisors, really advisors,
Good advisors for that.
good advisors. It happens even to Raila Odinga. I see it.
But don't you
One
think
day
he has
Raila
got
left here
advisors
and
right
went
now?
into there's something had happened about the Hague. And I knew the first thing the media will ask will be about the Hague. And it went exactly the way I thought. ICC. Exactly. So if I had been his advisor, I would have told him this is what's going to come up. Either avoid that, or if you must talk about it, talk about it this way. Because you are going to play in the hands of the people. So our leaders must know the world today is a different world. You need to have technical advisors, and you listen to them. Yes. You have to listen to them.
Don't you think somebody of the stature of the deputy president in this country have advisors?
They don't have advisors.
But they
don't. Advisors are the sort of people people put in their offices to help them get a job. So Kinyi was my boy when I was doing shows. Now I'm the minister. Kinyi Kuja, you are my advisor on media. So I'm actually trying to help you earn a living. And I do not expect anything from I see. My friends have been made advisors here and there. But if you ask them, governor's advisor on what, on Agadai, on economy, they never sit down to talk about the economy with the governor.
So they don't advise at all?
No, they don't. It's just a job you've been given. So same, even in State House. There ought to be people in State House who can, every morning, sit with the president. If it's on infrastructure, somebody who tells you, Your Excellency, so far, you have overpromised roads. Where you are going, people will ask for roads. Find a way of saying no. And the people I'm talking about to advise the president, Rigathi, Gachagua, and everybody else who is big, need not be people who are employed for that job specifically. They are informal advisors also. But then there are also people we pay, the intelligence. There was a case involving a judge. And then we kept asking ourselves, how was this person made a judge? Where was the intelligence? How could all this have been there on the judge, and the same person was elevated to where they went? Equally, the intelligence must learn to tell the president things that are in the interest of his presidency and of the country and the people of this country. There is briefing between the intelligence and the president, I think, on a daily basis. The man in charge of the intelligence should be brave enough to tell the president, this is the mood in the country. The things you are putting on the table are good things, but this is how people are perceiving them. And this is how the country may be affected in the coming days. Raila's rally in Kamkunji, it's not a laughing matter. I'm not saying you become cowards, but I'm saying you be aware that that rally portends a danger to the country. The intelligence should be men and women who can tell the president the list that you are about to announce to the country of cabinet has people who shouldn't be members of cabinet for this and this reason. And that's how this is how these successful countries work. Not that they don't have their problems. They have their issues. You see? But the president is told, look here, go slow on this matter. Don't go public on this matter. If you talk about this, be aware of this. So people like Rigathi Gachagua, Rig G as is famously known, could benefit a lot from expert advice. These are people, men and women who are trained. They sit with you in the room and play your clip. I said, that is you now speaking, which is very good. This is what you meant. But this is how it has come out. This is how it is being interpreted. This is the impact in the country. Then they bring another clip. You see? Then they bring a clip of somebody from the US or somewhere else, or even in this country. Say, this person is saying exactly what you say, what you are saying. But look at how they are saying it. They are saying it differently. Advice. Or people who have the training to tell you, hapapana. Don't say it like that, because this, you are making people agitated and angry for nothing. The things you are saying are correct. You are saying about unemployment. It is true. What you are saying is true. But where are you? What is the occasion? This is the proudest moment for these young men and women, for the graduates. And then you throw a bomb inside and tell them there are no jobs for you. We know there are no jobs, but that's the way to tell them. You can put it better. You can tell them, this is the 21st century. This is the century of job creation, not of employment. With the education you have received here, you are supposed to be creators of jobs, not queuing for the jobs with your brothers and sisters who have not had the benefit of getting the education you have gotten. Go out there. If you get a job, fine. But when you get a job, I also employ you. Give yourself 10 years to start your own company. Don't go there and sit and look at a job because your letter reads you are permanent pensionable. No. This country will not grow unless people like you who have received an education are able to create jobs. That's how you put it. You don't tell people, I don't lie to you, there are no jobs. Tunaanza kujenga manyumba muende kazi ya mjengo. That is the proudest moment for that girl seated in that gathering. A moment like no other for the parents who have come there. And then you are telling the boy and the parents ati mtoto aende kwa mjengo. You know, you're breaking them. You're breaking them. But what you are saying is true. There are no jobs. So it's not always the facts. You must be tactful.
In how you actually...
That is the role
relay
of
the message.
advisors. That's what people like us can do if we are hired. We don't mind.
So you think people are there who are actually not doing their work right?
No, they are not. They are not employed to do the work. They are not even qualified for the job. No,
They just...
they are just there. I work for the university, and I know there are men and women at the university from different backgrounds and trainings and experience who can be of tremendous help to the president and his team. There are men and women there who are well trained, well versed in these things, with experience and the skills, and they can be employed to the service of their nation in advising the leaders. They are there.
While at Kajedo again, he said, the roads are there, you can decide to go. Really?
You can't say like that if you are a deputy president.
And people are wondering, is this now whom we
That's
have?
impunity. Impunity at its highest. That's the epitome of impunity. It can't go higher than that. That we don't care. Go and demonstrate. Go and riot. But all of us who live in this country, people of my age and even younger people like Gachagua, they know where we have come from. They know men and women have lost property and life and limb through these demonstrations. We know it.
When it comes to...
Even in the recent history, we can talk of Master Mutinda, Baby Pendo. We know all these people. We know people who have died. Why would we somewhat talk carelessly about demonstrations, yet we know where they lead us? Yeah.
So when it comes to things such as now demonstrations or anything perhaps relating to the former Prime Minister, definitely you look at how our Deputy President addresses such kind of issues. But when anybody from Central Region actually being touched, you looked at the story of Moses Kuria, he came to his defense there in the Jubilee leaders who are actually... He always comes to that defense of his region, going there, trying to do all he can to ensure that the youths there are saved of drinking right now. Definitely what is taking place there is not good. Why do you think he's got this soft spot when it comes to the other side? Or is he kind of trying to establish himself as a Central Kenya kingpin so that those people listen to him?
Of course, we've been told all politics is local. And if it's the desire of the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua Rigathi, to climb to the president by first consolidating power in the Mount Kenya region, so be it. The only question is he going about it the right way? You may win the hearts of the Central people by defending Moses Kuria, but you hurt and irritate and anger the larger constituents that is Kenya. Because then the Mount Kenya people will not make you president. They don't have the numbers. You need Luos to vote for you. You need Luyas to vote for you. You need Pokomo, Dorobo, Turkana. And if these people are not happy with the way you are putting things in defense of people like Moses Kuria.
Is our deputy president failing that kind of national symbol figure?
You know, I have said this repeatedly, and I have no problem in repeating it. That sometimes people come to power underestimating what it means to be in power.
Okay.
Some people get to power and government becomes too big for them. Some people get to power and they're overwhelmed. Some people get to power and they must learn afresh everything. So I think these things apply, most of what I've said applies to Rigathi Gachagua and these people. They are learning government. Gachagua is yet to learn that he is the deputy president of the country. And what he says carries a lot of weight. It can destroy or build the country. He's yet to learn. But he's in the process of learning. And there are many things he has learned. Even the way he dresses. You know, it is changing.
Yeah, it's
changing. Yeah, certainly. But it will take a little while. That's why I was saying, if you are with advisors, you learn faster. But they are learning. They didn't understand government. It's too big. They are overwhelmed. Sometimes it takes time for you to believe you are the deputy president. You saw the president crying in 2013 at Catholic University after they had been declared winner. You saw it. He was overwhelmed. And we are human beings. You can get overwhelmed. That is this me really? Am I the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya? And it may take time for you to get over that. You are so overwhelmed. And then the sycophants around you, making it even worse. People begin to worship you immediately you get in an office like that. You begin to see yourself as some kind of God. So the time and opportunity you would have taken to learn is wasted by these guys surrounding you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop this conversation at that particular moment. Definitely, we do hope that our government is not a learning government, as Prof is saying here, definitely. And we do hope that they will actually portray what we can see as Kenyans, as national leaders, not regional kingpins for that matter. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.